Hey, I just wanted to reach out and touch you guys and let you know about two books that came out this year that I recommend. The first one is in the health and fitness community, and it is called The 4-Hour Body by Tim Ferriss. It's right here. It's a big, thick book. It's 600 or so pages, and you get to choose which 150 pages that you want to read. You want to read how to gain muscle, how to lose fat, how to reduce injuries, or how to improve athletic performance. And that is the kind of stuff that's in it. And you get to choose which section you want to read. You can skim through it. You can do whatever. It's not recommended that you actually read it cover to cover because you're supposed to read it, implement what you learned. You know, if you're wanting to lose fat, then read the 150 pages associated with losing fat and then go put it into action in your life. Don't move on until you've done that. Of course, there is some fun sections, like doubling and tripling your testosterone is a fun section. And there's a fun section about how to give a woman a 15-minute orgasm. Just take it from me. It's not worth it. But there's a lot of fun stuff in here. He tells it in a very story-like way. He always tells a story and then he explains how somebody did it or whatever is the thing. And that's the way that Tim Ferriss has always written. You can find out about that, and I'll put the link down in the resources. The other one that I wanted to tell you about was one that came out like just last month. This book is brand new and I just got done reading it, and it is possibly the most valuable investment, the most valuable book that you can buy like on the planet right now. I really am impressed with this book, and I've read a ton of books. So this one is called The Education of Millionaires. It's Not What You Think and It's Not Too Late. And it's by Michael Ellsberg. This book has the most up-to-date and useful information. It's not archaic. It's not Think and Grow Rich. It's not The Strangest Secret. It's not these other archaic books, and it's not feel-good books like a Tony Robbins book or another self-help book. It contains specific examples. There's 7 specific secrets in it that include things like bootstrapping, selling, marketing. In marketing and sales, like one of the points that he makes in the book is that no money is made before a product gets sold, a product or a service. So no money just changes hands until something is sold, and that includes nonprofit organizations. You know, you get why do you get the cute little kids to come up and try to sell the Boy Scout cookies? So you can make more sales. It doesn't matter, anything else associated with that doesn't matter. You're trying to get the best salesman out there because it's hard to slam the door on a little kid's face if you have a soul still. So that's the kind of stuff that's in it. It's got bootstrapping, marketing, sales. There's four other secrets that I'm not remembering right now. I'll try not to give away too much stuff that's in it in the first place because I don't know if I can get in trouble for that. But lots of fun stuff in this program. One of the things that absolutely blew my mind was the whole thing, first off, is about college graduates not getting the jobs that they request. And that's been really big on the news now. And it's starting to be called the higher education bubble. If you remember the housing bubble, that caused a lot of people to go bankrupt, and it caused a lot of grief and strife and stress. And now it's being called the higher education bubble because nowadays you can get in $100,000+ of debt and not get the job that you were going after or anything like that. There's tons of people in the book that have that got liberal arts degrees and even masters in liberal arts, and of course they couldn't find a job. But there's also tons of examples of masters of business administration people who couldn't get jobs. and law degree people and law enforcement degree people who couldn't find a job in there. So it's wildly interesting and entertaining, and it really keeps you hooked in the whole time. And of course, he tells everything through a storyline format as well. He tells you a story, and then he kind of gives you the specifics afterwards. And it's story after story after story that are very, and they're not just platitudes. They're not inspirational stories just stuck in the middle of the book like quotes. They directly relate to what's going on in the chapter. One of the big things in the book that blew my mind was there was somebody with some sort of degree in there who had been searching for some large length of time for jobs, and she was doing everything right. She was getting resumes out there, and she was tailoring the resume to the specific company. She was spending hours and hours on these resumes before she sent them out, and she was applying everywhere. She couldn't get a job at like the lowliest positions that she wanted to get a job at. And what happened to her was that eventually she went through a different tact. She decided to design a Facebook advertisement and spend $100 in Facebook advertisements that advertised to the specific employers that she wanted to be employed at. So whenever you design a Facebook advertisement, if you've never tried it, you can actually narrow the people who see the advertisement to very specific people. Maybe they have specific keywords in their profile. Maybe they're men or women. Maybe they're of certain demographics. But you can narrow that down to the company. You can narrow it all the way down to the company which they claim that they work on their Facebook profile. So that's what she did. She designed Facebook advertisements, thought outside the box, and I think it said within 2 months she had a job at one of those companies. But since she was already in the copywriting field, instead she decided to, she eventually quit that job at that company and started her own business because she was smart enough to do so. These types of things, thinking outside the box, is the things that are going to get you forward in today's world. You can't try to make money in the past, as my good friend and mentor Evan Pagan always says. You can't try to make money in the past. You can't try to set up a bookstore whenever all the borders in the country are closing. You can't try to set up a brick and mortar store if you don't know whether or not that particular location is going to get customers. Just as an example, there was Evan Pagan was telling the story about how the Wendys and Hardee's and everything were doing all this research, and they were spending all this money to try to figure out where are the best places to put their chain restaurants so that they will get a ton of customers. When one day they, I think it was just Wendys, and one day Wendys decided, wait a second, why are we wasting all this time, money, effort, and resources whenever McDonald's has already done it for us? So what they began doing was setting up a Wendys in close proximity to each McDonald's. And every time they set up a McDonald's, they set up a Wendys. And every time they set up a McDonald's, they set up a Wendys. And it really, it worked. I don't know the validity of the story. It's secondhand already, but it's a great business plan. One of my chief passions is business. So I apologize for this being like parts fitness and mostly business. But this is my vlog, and I will get my interest out there, and I'll try to pass on my passions to you. So I'll put the resources for these 2 books down below. They're absolutely one of the most valuable investments that you can make this year. They make for great, well, I can't really say that. I can't really say that a book makes for a great present in 2011, but they make for great presents to give to yourself and around Christmas time. And I know for a fact that if you buy these 2 books, then 2012 is going to be exponentially better than all the previous years if you just read and do. Read and do. So I'll put the links down to the resources. Check them out, and I will talk to you the next time I get the chance.